I often say that hard work alone is not the answer to trading success, and that's true. What's up traders, welcome back to Bangkok. Today I want to share with you a simple advice. I think if you were to watch only one video about trading, that would be that one. And I think that's going to simplify a lot of things that people do wrong when they start to trade. So what is the best advice in trading? That's what I want to share with you today. And I'll try to simplify as much as I can. This is kind of a big topic, a broad aspect. But we'll kind of break it down to make it applicable for you today. When people ask me, what is the only advice I would need right now to make a living trading Forex? The advice is the following. It's no different than business. And I think for a lot of people that's going to be like out of their mind and they don't understand the principle. And so I want to break it down. So trading is for me a business. And that means that like any other business, there's going to be phases that you have to go through, things that you have to proceed with. And that's ultimately how people see results. That's not by just like sitting there expecting to make money from the market. And I'm convinced if you treat this like a business from day one and you do things right, you might have some failures along the way, and failures are totally normal. But in the end, your trading results will be much better than someone treating this as himself making a living at his computer. That's very different. You gotta understand that when people talk about making a living trading, they talk about making a living with a trading business. And that's completely different in my opinion. It's a whole different game. And I kind of want to share with you the phases you would have to go through. Any business would be the same, and you as traders should do the same thing. Over time, it becomes easier, I feel. But something I learned from one of my mentors is the fact that the more money you make, the less you should work. And that's going to be the same with trading. The more money you make trading, the less you should do the work. And we'll talk about it today, kind of how to delegate stuff. There's a lot involved in that, and that could be pretty cool. But if you're just starting out, we'll just go with phase one. Try to think about the different phases of a business, what a business goes through, and we'll be able to apply the same thing to trading. So a business that starts, we call this a startup, right? The business that's starting out, not really knowing what to do, or maybe having an idea, a concept, and then usually the people in that startup are really working hard to make things happen. It's kind of a sacrifice mode. So at first in trading, you should think about the same thing. You sacrifice a little bit of your time, which might mean that you'll have less family time, less time to party, have fun, and that's fine, that's part of it. I often say that hard work alone is not the answer to trading success, and that's true. But in the beginning, you kind of have to go through that phase to see some momentum toward your goals. And so that's no different. A business would work on its product, on offering the product. You as a trader would work on your strategy. What you're going to trade. What is it that you are expecting to make a living with in the market. And that means you might have to take some course, you might have to learn a lot. Nothing wrong with learning and going on different websites to learn. That's fine. And eventually you come up with something that works, that makes sense to you, and that you're able to trade. You will see probably some profitability. And the same thing would go with the business. A startup would start to have a nice product, they would start to maybe sell it, and they will make some money. You have your strategy, you make some money with it. Okay, you don't have to sell, which is better, easier for you compared to a business. Now this means that when you see some profitability, it means that you might not trade something you love. And as a matter of fact, a startup that starts a product, some people might like the product, some people won't. And you don't need to be in love with it to make a living selling the product. So if you have a strategy that you trade that is average, you might not fall in love with it. And you might just accept the strategy as it is. It makes money. And you don't have to kind of be passionate about it. That's fine. Because later on, as time goes on, you can adapt it and make it better and tweak it and adjust it to your needs and your style. But don't expect that you're gonna love your strategy from day one, because that's gonna get you stuck in a circle of like trying to make everything perfect, and then nothing will be perfect overall. So you want to kind of take action, get results, and then you can adapt and tweak, as opposed to like trying to make everything perfect from day one, which never works. So when you see some profitability with what you trade, that's gonna be a whole different game. When I got to this point myself, I said, I get some momentum, now I need to reinvest these resources into future growth, into future programs that will help me. And that's kind of where I decided to hire more mentors, take more courses, talk to more traders, because I wanted to learn the most, and I knew there was some things I was lacking. Even though I was making money a little bit, I would have to work on some things to become a better trader. And so if you stay there and you say, oh, I'm good, I'm making money, and you never work on yourself and your execution and what you do in the market, you will never achieve the next level. But if you start to invest and reinvest what you earn, or invest a little bit more because you've already got some momentum from your first strategy, then you can really start to move forward and grow and become better. So the key here is you have to reinvest in yourself and reinvest in how can you become better. Ask yourself by sitting down a couple of hours, how can I become better from where I am now? How can I make my product, my business better, more efficient, more productive, whatever, serving better? And in trading it's going to be more, how can I adapt it more to the market? Or how can I make myself better in the market? And those are two things you got to work on. Yourself and your strategy. The cool thing about this is that if you do it right, then it really means you'll get some momentum and that you will grow even better and faster and at a stronger pace. You might work with different psychologists, you might work with different people that will kind of coach you along the way, and you'll get to a point with some really good result where you might even be able to leave your job at this point because you've grown so much in the last couple of years or in the last year or so. And that's a great point to be in. Now, of course, depending on how you change and how you evolve, you might have some work to do and some things you gotta do, absolutely. But over time, you want to be at a point where you kind of push away things that you don't want to do. Like, for me, that was coding and automating. So I got to a point where I don't necessarily need to code. I could code, but I don't really like it to do it all the time. So I pushed it to someone else. It could be the same for you. It could be things that you hate to do. So like doing your journal in Excel, you find a way to automate that, to make it faster, connect your account to a site that does it automatically. That's a good way to do it. So push away the things you don't want to do, give them to someone else, and focus only on what you know. And keep in mind at this point you have some sort of growth. You've become quite good at what you do. And you should invest your time and your energy into things that will make you grow even faster. Like, you can't just be a profitable trader who's grown a lot in the past year and spend your days doing your taxes. That won't work. Okay, that's something that you want to push to someone else because it's not the best use of your time. And you're not going to do this from day one, that's for sure. But you'll take some time to work on the things, get to a certain level, reinvest in yourself and in the strategy you have to trade the market, and then you can kind of delegate, push away things you don't want to do and focus on what you love the most. It could be a different thing. It could be for you that you want to develop strategies. It could be that you want to work on executing better. It could be that you want to even coach people, and that means that you'll push away other things to other people and you'll maybe trade less, you'll maybe not code, you'll do other things that you love to do as opposed to the boring stuff you hate doing. And that is how you guarantee to kind of be successful long term. Keep loving what you do, keep evolving, keep becoming better, because you're not drained by the day-to-day boring stuff that you don't want to do. And that's really important, I think. Part of any business is having the right people in the right place to be able to grow at a faster pace. And you want to do the same thing with your trading. If you gotta hire people to take care of some parts, like accounting, like taxes, then do it. And that's going to be a great use of your money because you can work better, develop more things, use your time effectively. And that's huge in trading and in business as well. So I hope you kind of understand the principle that I'm talking about here. Trading is no different than business, and if you treat it the same way, you are very more likely to see result this year in 2019. And I would love to hear your thoughts below. I just want to share two last things, two takeaways. The first thing is, because trading is so much like a business, you should surround yourself with business people as much as you can. Because you can learn from them, you can learn how they do things. And even if they're not traders, ask yourself, how can you do the same thing yourself in your trading? So you might surround yourself with traders, that's fine. They are a little bit harder to find. But business people are everywhere to be found. And you can just walk around the street in your city and find people that have big businesses and talk to them. Surround yourself with them so you can learn how they do things. And eventually, if you learn from them, you will apply and get some really good results with that. The other takeaway is when things are hard, take a step back, remove yourself from the day-to-day and the grind and stuff, and take a step back to look at what is the overall picture of your business. What's happening? Like a CEO of a company, how would he see the business? And you want to see the same thing with your trading. So as opposed to like, oh, I lost 5% this week, or I'm in a big drawdown and things are not good. I'll see the big picture. Like, I've been developing this past month. I've been looking at this. I've improved this. I worked on this. This has been happening. This is not maybe so well because I lost money this month, perhaps. But overall, it's been a good month because I work on these things. I improve. I got this tracking that's done, and I can know what to work on. If you see the big picture of your business, first of all, it's going to be less terrible than you think, and you will see areas to improve, and then you just work on those, make a plan to become better in those areas, and eventually that's how you become really good at what you do in trading. Okay, no different than business. So guys, comment below your takeaways on this. I would appreciate your thoughts down below, and here are a few comments in the past video. I always appreciate you guys for leaving your comments below. They mean a lot to me, and I read all of them. So that being said, subscribe if it's not done yet, and with that being said, give a like on that video if you liked it today. I'll catch you back here for another video tomorrow. Ciao.